Let's go to Stephen Yates right now, the former Deputy National Security Advisor to Vice President Dick Cheney. Stephen, always good having you. The administration's confidence about getting these Americans out, by extension, they're not really talking as much about these other Afghan nationals. What do you think?
Well, first, it's extremely disappointing and frustrating to have this conversation take place after our entire embassy and our military forces withdrawn. It may be a known, as Don Rumsfeld would say, but really this is something that was on their homework plate during the transition coming in through the readjustments to the agreement. Of course, getting Americans out has to be a high priority. Anyone who's not an American citizen, I have to assume, is going to have a tough form of vetting, everything from ranging from health considerations to any kind of contacts and national security background. Much harder to do without troops and diplomats and others on the ground there to help you.
I'm also wondering what's been transpiring since this debacle of a collapse, and I don't necessarily attach these incidents to what's going on there, but I wonder if you do. North Korea getting increasingly aggressive for the second time in a little more than 72 hours, launching some long-range cruise missiles. This is China gets increasingly bellicose, threatening to send ships to our waters because they're not too keen when we send ships to the South China Sea, somehow arguing that those are their waters. They're not. But I'm just wondering whether this happens in a vacuum or is the direct response to what's been happening in Afghanistan.
Well, there's a saying of weakness abhors a vacuum. And so when we have signals that I think show uncertainty, unreliability, or weakness, and when you have the commander-in-chief say one thing on camera to the entire world, and it's completely contradicted within weeks by developments on the ground, and then the visuals of the nature of our exit from Afghanistan is extremely troubling. And so, yes, the weakness in one area can lead to provocations in another. There, as you sort of suggest, there is also a time and season to what happens with North Korea. They don't like being ignored, and they seem to find a way to shoot things off to draw the attention back to them, regardless of what's happening in the rest of the world.
Stephen, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this Bob Woodward book and about General Milley and talking to the Chinese. I guess the Pentagon has tried to clarify this and putting out a statement that these type of calls and communications are routine, that there's nothing untoward going on here, certainly nothing hinting of a coup or anything like that during the waning weeks of the Trump administration. What do you think?
Well, I find almost every element of what happened between Election Day and Inauguration Day to be highly unusual, extraordinary, and at odds with what my experience has been in government in the past. And I'd say the same about these kinds of phone calls. I have no way to look into what General Milley's intentions were or whether he thought this was routine. I find the entire exchange to be extraordinarily unusual and inappropriate. To me, there's almost no explanation or justification if what has been reported is true. But that is the most important caveat. If I had been accused of this, I wouldn't have waited 24 hours to give all of the receipts, all of the explanations for why it was untrue. He's taken a more passive approach, which reinforces doubt in my mind.
Is that a court-martial type offense or worse?
Well, I'm no lawyer and don't pretend to be one on TV, but I think that this is something that is deeply troubling, as I say. If it is as reported, it seems very close to the definition of treason. But again, not my standard to draw, and I certainly don't conduct court-martials.
All right. Thank you for that. Stephen Yates, the former Deputy National Security Advisor to Dick Cheney.